So a lot of research was done by this Chinese company. At first I was like, Chinese, hey, I'm not sure about Chinese. And then I began to see all the studies that they've done, for 8 years now, and how they came up with this device. The first prototype was like $400,000 for this little machine. Then the next year was like $200,000. Today, the entry one is what, $280. Like, how is that even possible? So they did something incredible. I'm still not sure why they let this tech out, but it is out. But it's been changing the world since then. People that are using it have such an incredible reaction. Not everybody, of course, is the same. Some people have like instant. Others takes 3 months, 6 months. Everything in between the ranges. And I think what's important to know is this terahertz frequency. People are saying that this is like the master frequency of creation, that everything in the creative realm responds to this range of frequencies. That's why you're seeing so much incredible benefits for people in their bodies, not just their bodies, their plants, their animals. I mean, it charges things, solid things. We've been videos of people charging tables, wood, and it becomes possibly charged. So it's pretty incredible what's happening. And so I came across this device and I was like, oh my gosh, tell me more about it. So I began to inquire more and more on it. So we got one and we immediately began to see, results, in our own bodies. And Kimberly can, share her testimony a little bit too. But it's for such a time as this. And I mean, we're not trying to exalt the wand over nothing else. It's just a tool. And it's a wonderful tool that I think we can use. It is vibrating. Some of the terahertz frequencies vibrate at the same frequency of our cells, of the human cells. So you got the concept of resonance. When you take, if you've seen videos of like two tuning forks, they're tuning the same, like 440 and 440 here. You strike this one, and this one will start to vibrate, to resonate immediately, because they are synced on the same frequency. If this fork is at different, like 450, for instance, you strike this one 440, and this will not resonate. So that's what's happening, because when the wand releases that terahertz to your cells, the cells go, and they just begin to vibrate because it's resonating with the same frequency of the Creator, because that's what the Creator put inside of us. That's how He made the human body. So you give the same source of the Creator, basically you're blowing light into your body. And not just into the skin, but it goes deep. It goes, up to 12 inches deep, all the way to your bone marrow. So that's why you're seeing so many incredible results and responses with people using it, especially with people that have serious issues. I mean, that's when you see the most radical, like wow kind of results and feelings. So first of all, this does not heal anything, and this device does not cure anything. It's allowing the body to do what it's supposed to do, allowing the cells to wake up, to charge, and to go, oh, there's a problem, and deal with an issue. So that's very important to say that we're not saying that this is curing anything, but it's if you give the body tools to work with, the body is supposed to. That's the way God created us to heal ourselves. We should not need anything. We should not even need a wand to heal ourselves. We're getting there. I think we're growing all as a people, as a race, that we are beginning to think, hey, we can really change matter with, it's like faith, if you're in the church, it's a faith, can change matter. That's how you see miracles and things. And we're getting, I think, to a point where we're beginning to understand that more and more, that we can mold this physical reality that we're in. So this is just a tool in between to help us, get healthy. Some people have been, in such a journeys of pain. It's just so sad for like 20 years, for instance, people with issues, and And then so when you see those people that have been trying everything and then all of a sudden they start wandering and oh my gosh, it's gone. That pain is gone that I've had 20 years is gone. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just so rewarding. Just it's wonderful to see people break through into a state of homeostasis, which is balanced, into heart, into our body, into our mind, a unified field of wellness and just prosper, so yeah, that's our experience. I didn't have like a very radical changes, if you will. The healthier you are, you're not gonna see as many. It's like wow, like oh my gosh, it's changed my life. I can tell you that the more things that you incorporate to your life, to your body, that are age reversing, they're helping to reverse your age, become younger and younger. You're gonna see small increments of energy, of agility. I have agility right now that I didn't have before I started. I'm 57. And I really feel like I'm on my 20s. I run outside now, uphill with my dog, bending down. I had a knee pain that it was creeping in. I had pain in my hands that was started to just really bother me. It didn't go away right away. It took about a month. But all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh. Agility, mobility, my knee, pain is gone. Knee, no pain. Just the feeling inside that I'm way younger and so I'm not going anymore, but I'm just telling to myself I'm 30 years old. And not going above that. I'm not
We're
gonna.
Benjamin Buttoning.
We're reversing our age. We're becoming younger every day. So that's also a mindset. So this is important that as you want the intention, it's incredible because it's not only a device that is affecting your physical being, but it opens up a quantum field around you, a realm. It's powerful. It is very powerful. Your words, your confessions amplify tremendously. It's known now that we can change our physical body with just our thoughts and our words. The power of words, power of life and death is in the word. And also, because everything is vibration, our words, our thoughts are vibration, our feelings are vibration, everything. So, like I said, I'm experiencing a rejuvenation overall. This year was the first year, this was life-changing actually. The first year I experienced no allergies. It is, I know it might seem like petty, some of you that have serious issues, but it was a big deal. I mean, doing the lawn outside, it was just constant. The eyes and the nose. But this year, after wandering since October, end of October, till now, nothing, zero allergies. I was like, that alone is like, oh my gosh, incredible. So why don't you share about your experience too with that?
Oh my goodness, how long we got here?
We got time.
Well, my honey got this for me, and I am not the researcher. I am the one where he's like, this works, use it. I'm like, okay. So I started reading a few of the testimonies, and the first one, of course, that I latched onto was one about weight loss, and somebody was talking about how they had put coconut oil all over their bodies and then wanded. And I was like, well, I can do that because, I had put on the COVID 35, so I was definitely ready to shed some weight. And so that was my first focus. And also I had taken a really bad fall on June 1st of last year and messed up my ankle really bad. And I had gone from being able to walk like 6 to 10 miles a day to a standstill. And so I was like, I didn't even think about it because all I was thinking about was the weight loss. But I was just literally wanding every square inch of my body. And I would wand for 45 minutes to an hour, but I'd have to set a timer because I didn't want to stop because it's just so soothing. And so I was just like, I locked the door and I'm like, don't come in unless you want to be traumatized because I'm in the wanding session. So anyway, we started this at the end of October. as of today, I'm down 44 pounds. And my ankle is completely, totally healed. My scar tissue from my C-section, we had to get a flashlight to try to find it. I mean, we couldn't
I know. So
find it.
somebody said, there are scars going away. I was like, oh, I wonder if some of the scars going away. So it's like, honey, where is it? So we had to find it.
we couldn't even find it.
We couldn't find the scar.
And so then, okay, so my ankle was completely healed. And then I had I think it's called like a Dowager hump on the back of my neck that had always just really bugged me. And it looked awful. It is 90% gone. It is like my entire posture, my entire back. It was visible. It was very visible. And now it's just like straight. Unbelievable. And so I had, back in 2019, had been down in the back. I had a really bad sciatic issue. And so we've been wanding the spine. I have had zero back pain. I love to take, the detox baths with the wanded water. They're amazing. If anybody is dealing with any trauma, I highly suggest doing the detox baths and immersing your ears in the water. Let me just tell you, you immerse your ears, all of a sudden you hear your heartbeat loud and clear. And it's like you're back in your mother's womb. It's unbelievable. And I would just begin to speak to my body, to every cell and tissue in my body. And because I was under the water, the resonance of my voice was just booming throughout every cell in my body. It was just, I could feel the vibration of my voice as I was speaking to all of my organs. And see, this is an extremely intentional device. And that's what I tell people is, if you believe that it won't work for you, it won't. But
because it's powerful because it will amplify what you desire. It's a quantum thing. You attract what you speak and what you believe. You attract that into you.
And so we are on a very, very precise journey of taking negativity completely out of our vocabulary. So we are on a positive scale all the time. And so I believed with every fiber of my being that this was going to do everything that I told my body to do. And because I'm a very visual person, what really helped me to get into that intentionality was I started getting on Pinterest and pulling up maps of the organs of a woman's body and the meridians and the reflexology charts of your hands and your feet and your ears, so that when I am wanding over these areas, I am speaking to, and I'm visualizing, I'm able to see that organ in my mind, and I am releasing trauma out of it. I am releasing total healing. I am speaking to every cell and to every tissue. I mean, that changes everything. The intentionality of it and the way that you focus, and it has absolutely wakened up my body like never before. I have a relationship with my body that I never had before. I have a love for my body that I never had before. And it's amazing because I'll be wandering and all of a sudden I'll have a little tinge over here. It's like over here, over here. It's like your body starts to tell you what it needs, where it needs it. And of course, I just still wand all over my body. But also, we started also doing this thing called Lime Water Protocol, which is amazing with the wanded water. Is I had a friend that texted me after I had posted in one of my stories about drinking warm lemon water first thing in the morning and all the benefits that has for your health. And she texted me and she said one of my good friends and her mother cured themselves of stage 4 cancer drinking warm lime water on an empty stomach first thing in the morning every day. And I was like, well, if it eliminates it, it also prevents it. And so I started doing, and she said, so I was like, well, how did this happen? She was like, well, they had dealt with, I think, 3 or 4 bouts with their cancer, whatever it was. And finally, the doctor said, there's no hope. There's nothing more we can do for you. They sent them home. And when they were leaving and they were still in the lobby of the hospital, this woman came up to them, who I believe was an angel, and said, if you will drink warm lime water on an empty stomach every morning, you will completely eradicate cancer from your body. And now they've been cancer-free for 7 years. So I was like, well, then I'm going to start doing that, but doing it with the wand and wanding it. And that's another thing. It is so important, and that we also do is we're made up of what, 85% water? And so the water, when you are wanding it, And when you are drinking it, speak into that water what it's going to do for your body. Speak affirmations, speak declarations into that water. It's becoming a part of you. And that is unbelievable. I mean, the power that we have to bless far outweighs any curse, for one thing. But if we focus on all of the amazing things that it's going to do for us, and we really are in touch with the feeling of absolutely, it's a done deal. We are excited, we're happy, and it is amazing when you do it that way. But also one of the biggest, one of the reasons why I believe that I have lost a lot of weight too is, and I didn't even realize it because I'm a singer, so I was wanding my vocal cords, not even realizing I'm wanding my thyroid. So I believe my hormones are all balanced. I mean, I literally feel like I'm a teenager. I feel better than I did when I was a teenager, and I'm 47. And, but I started going through significant trauma release, which is massive. I've always been, on inner healing journeys, for my whole life. I've been around stuff like that, but in the past 10 years, more specifically on the scale of trauma release. But I had gone to a meeting when we first got this wand, and this guy was there who specialized in trauma, and he was talking about how we store our traumatic memories in the back right hemisphere of our brain. And so I was like, well, I'm going to start wand in the back hemisphere of my brain. And I would just start asking the Holy Spirit, hey, bring up any memory of trauma that needs to be alleviated. And so I started doing that. And then I started releasing it from my organs as I was going through. And I also do interior design, and I was with a client in downtown Nashville. And you have to understand, I had major tractor trailer truck trauma, and that's a good tongue twister, and I can do it really fast if you want. Tractor trailer truck trauma. See if you can do it. But I got run off the road when I was 18 years old. I was on the interstate going home, and they had closed the left lane of traffic without any signs or warnings. And so there were nothing but tractor trailer trucks on the side of me. So it was either go under his cab or take out all the barrels. And I was in this tiny little Geo Metro. So of course I took out all the barrels. Well, fast forward to now, I started, been doing the wanding, praying, just releasing trauma out of myself, because trauma is connected to everything, every illness, everything goes back to trauma, all of it. And it's so easy to get rid of, and we're never taught that. We're not taught it in the church. We're not taught it anywhere. And so I really latched onto that. Well, we're down in downtown Nashville picking up some furniture, and we have to get on the interstate. And when we do, I get sent, and my son, Judah, is with me because he was doing some video footage of us. And when we got on the interstate, I got sandwiched in between all these tractor trailer trucks. Nothing. Not a single thing. You have to understand, my trauma was so severe that when we would go on a road trip, I would have to stay up all night the night before so I could sleep in the very back of the car the whole way, so I wouldn't have to see the passing of the trucks. Because I would have such a trauma response, my whole body would go into, or I would grab a steering wheel if I was up front. I mean, it was bad. It was the only really noticeable trauma that I had in my life that I was like, I know that I got that. And so I had zero response, and I didn't say anything. I was just like, what's happening? I didn't want to jinx it. I was like, I don't know what's happening. But then I go a little further, and I get sandwiched in between a bunch of them again, and I say nothing, but zero traumatic response. And so, okay. So then my son, because I'm not saying anything, my son says, Mom, you realize what just happened? And I was like, what? He said, you didn't just have a manifestival when we were in between all those trucks. And I was like, I know. I was like, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know what to do. So now literally I will drive next to them on purpose, and I'll just laugh the whole time. But once that happened, what started happening inside of me is every other part of me that had been through trauma or had sustained trauma started going, me too. And so it started this whole massive trauma release, which I know is also a reason why I've lost 44 pounds, is because it's just taken all of that out of my system. And so it has been a beautiful journey. This has been the absolute best gift my honey has ever given me in my life. I can't say enough about it. And for the first 3 months, I guess I used the classic, and then we upgraded to the pro, and now I use the pro, and it's hard to go back because it's just so wonderful. But it's amazing. That thing is awesome. We also have the premium as well. It's kind of our least favorite just because it's only got like 2 free. I'm sure it's a lot of people love it and use the heck. We use it to wand our water. So, but we also, our dog, it's hilarious. Our dog will not drink anything but the wanded water. And she will literally, one time she literally swatted her bowl all the way from her room to the kitchen wanding station. She was like, I want my wanded water. And then actually one of my good friends, that is coming into town on tomorrow, actually, I'm going to interview her because my mom had gifted her a wand, and she had a beautiful 16-year-old Maltipoo that was her baby. She'd never been married. It was her whole world, her pup. And she was basically on her deathbed. She couldn't walk or move anymore. And if she stood her up, she would just fall over. And she wasn't eating. She wasn't drinking. She wasn't speaking. And she knew that it was time to put her down. So she had actually made an appointment with her vet to put her down. And she was just bawling because this is her baby. She was just beside herself. And she had received the wand 2 days prior to this. This was at Thanksgiving. And so she was about to leave to go get groceries. And Holy Spirit said, give Bella the wanded water. And she was like, what? Well, she's not even drinking. He said, give her the wanded water. So she got some wanded water, she took it to the bed, and she just put it on her finger and started putting it into Bella's mouth. Well, Bella woke up and drank 2 full bowls of the wanded water. And she left her. She had to go get groceries because she was cooking the Thanksgiving meal, and she was gone for 3 hours. And when she got back to the house, she opened up the door from her garage to her kitchen, and she was greeted by a dancing, running, barking, brand new baby dog. Unbelievable. She also had a fatty tumor that was a big fatty tumor on her little chest, and it's now 95% gone. So these dogs, it's not psychosomatic with them. They're not making stuff up, and so we're seeing so many cool testimonies. And one thing that I love so much, and one thing I really encourage you to do, is really utilize the testimonial pages, because it builds your faith. It builds your Facebook. On Facebook. It just to manifest it in your own life. And there is so diverse. It's amazing to me, all of the different kinds of testimonies that there are. And it's awesome because you can type into the search engine a specific ailment or something that you're wanting to see if there are any testimonies on it, and it'll pull it up. It's a great tool. It's a wonderful tool to have. So I highly recommend that you use that. But is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, it's the best hair dryer in the world. Oh my gosh, I'll never use anything else. It gives you volume. When you got fine hair, you need that volume. I love it as a hair dryer. I won't ever use anything else but that. Also, oh yeah, I had a deep ridge in my jaw here from when my dad was a dentist, and he had given me a root canal when I was younger, which I'll have taken out at some point. But every time I would use my gua sha, or I would do, facial massage, my tool would get stuck in that ridge. And the very first time I used the wand, I didn't even wand it for a long period of time. I probably wanded my face for like 5 minutes. It completely disappeared, and it has never come back, which was crazy. That was the first thing where I was like, OMG, this is amazing. So yeah, oh my goodness, if we sit here much longer, I'll probably think of about 10 other things, because I daily find new things. My vocal cords. Oh my word. They have gotten so much stronger and more fluid. I was in shopping the other day in TJ Maxx, and this song that I didn't even know came on and had all these crazy licks. And I just, I just was able to do everything so fluid. Like, I've always been able to do licks, but I could do it. I could do it falsetto. I could do it full voice. I could do it medium voice. It was just, I was like, what? And my honey, bless his heart, he's got sensitive ears. And So he's always, now he's, if he jumps next to me, he's probably already jumped a couple of times because I'm so loud. He's like, ah, ah. But that has also been a huge, huge difference that I have seen there. I mean, I've always had a strong voice, but it's gotten even stronger, which I didn't know was even possible. So yeah, so that's about the size of it. It's a lot of fun. So what do we do now?
I don't know, Linda, if you want to have some questions or what do you want to do now?
I have a question about the water. I've heard a couple of different people have really great testimonies about wanding the water. Is there a right and wrong way? And of course, I don't want to be polarized about it, but what way would you recommend wanding the water? Like, I know I've heard glass, and then I am constantly drinking protein shakes. And different types of juices, things like that. Should I wand the water before I add another element to it or after I add another element to it?
That is a great question. We actually watched it. Who was it? Ricky? Or who was it that did the video? They got a scanner that was able to test the charge in the water, because everybody's been like, well, how long do you want it? I mean, is it 2 minutes? Is it 1 minute?
It's a
is
minute
it
and 3 seconds.
5 minutes? Is it if a bigger pitcher? What do you do? Do you want it through the glass, on top of the glass? You know, there's so many questions. And he actually found that it was charged within seconds. Right. And another really cool thing that he did with the experiment is he took a tub of water. He took the scanner over the water and it was not charged. And then he took a shot glass and did the scanner and it was not charged. Then he charged it, rescanned it, and it was fully charged. He dumped that little shot glass into the tub and then redid it, and it was fully charged. And he also did an experiment which was really cool about the quantum level of it, which was he took a picture of a glass of water with his iPad, and then he went across the house to another room and he wanded the picture of the water. And then he went back and he tested the charge of the water and it was fully charged. There's another school of thought. I like to do like a minute or two, but you can also listen to your body. Like when your body falls forward, it's fully charged. If it's back, you know, it's kind of like muscle testing. But also I wand all of your beverages, like your shakes
and food,
all of your food, your beverages. You can wand everything. And another great thing that I would tell people to do is fill some spray bottles with wanded water, because if you spray the wanded water on your body, for some reason it just goes in thicker, right, you know, when you're wanding over it after you do that. And also you can make compresses. You can make hot compresses, cold compresses, you know, wand some water in a glass pitcher, put a towel down in there and put it on a body part. If you've got, like, especially if you have an issue or something like you can't wand over a certain issue because you've got metal or something like that, I would spray wanded water on it, or I would do cold or compresses with the wanded water on it. And also wand your coffee, wand everything, just wand it.
Yeah, I think the issue, the question was you were saying about plastic and
not on plastic, on glass only.
It might be. I mean, we don't know. Actually, nobody really knows, because I don't think terahertz is adding. You know, like with the fear that we've had with microwave, that it kind of adds. If you put a plastic thing, it adds it to the food. Kind of. I don't know that terahertz is doing that. I think it passes through. That's one of the benefits of the terahertz, that goes through clothes. And actually, some of the scanners they have on airports, they're using some form of terahertz. Those, you know, when you go and you have to stand,
hands up.
They're using some form of terahertz there for imaging, because it goes through clothing. It goes through your body. So, you know, to be safe, probably not do plastic, but it's not like it's gonna do something.
But you can wand it in glass and then pour it in plastic.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge.
I can't hear her if she's.
No, she's muted.
Okay.
So anyway.
But yeah, so I'll wand pitchers of whole water, and I wand my plants. We have seen. I had a prayer plant that for somehow I passed over it for a bit, and I was wanting everything else, and I'd forgotten about it. And I went into the sunroom, and it was just completely brown, and the leaves had all curled in. And I was like, oh no, I killed my plant. And so immediately I was like, I'm going to go get some wanded water. So I poured wanded water in it, and then I left it alone. Well, Alberto comes behind me. He actually wands the plant. So it's like, well, we're doing it. And the next day, it was 100% back to normal. No brown,
Yeah, plants love
unfurled, green. It's amazing. Plants love it.
Yeah.
So I hope, did that answer your question? Okay, awesome.
Also, there was a lady, and there was a testimony on Facebook of a beautician. I think she was in California, that she was doing, she would put a cloth of wet on the people's faces, and she would wand through the cloth.
She was an esthetician.
That's the esthetician, yeah. So she would wand through, and she was seeing incredible results. It seems like the water helps drive the terahertz even farther into, like, easier into your skin. So the clients, it almost looked like they had a facelift. I mean, it was taking out all the impurities and the wrinkles, and some people were getting better vision. Like, their vision was improving just by doing it, because I think it's the water will respond to terahertz incredibly well.
And we're made up of so much water.
And that's why they say drink before you wand, then drink after.
Warm water.
Because the more hydrated you are, the terahertz is going to find its way into your organs and into everything in your body. Because it's going to make it everything easier and healing faster. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering. Have there been any testimonies on wanding, like, your children, as far as, like, if there's any skin stuff or anything like that, if that's been okay or safe to use on them?
What my son Noah, he's 16 years old, and we had never had strep in our house ever, and he got strep throat this year, probably being around a lot of sick people. And so he literally just hung out of he was so sick, and I had never experienced the whole strep thing. And we do not do big P. We do not do big pharma at all. We're very much essential oils. My kids have not done the antibiotics. They've, they're very healthy in that. But what I did was I also use essential oils. That's another thing is why I also love to use the coconut oil with essential oils, because the coconut oil is great heat barrier when you're using the hotter frequency or the hotter temperatures. But so I would use, like, the holy trinity of oils, which is like the strongest antibiotic known to man, the frankincense, oregano, thieves, and peppermint mixed with coconut oil, carrier oil, and I put it on his lymphatic, and I would just wand him. And then I would wand his spine. I would wand all over his body. Within 4 days, he was completely strep free. Not a single papule, nothing. Everything was gone. And so, and he also he does martial arts, and he had gotten a really bad rug burn on his knee. And so we started wanting that. It's healed up very nicely. I also have found, yes, you absolutely use it on your kids.
Yeah.
100%.
Our friend Stephen Keller, he wanted, probably his granddaughter is the baby that has had wanding before anybody else in the world, because the moment after she was born, we started wanding her.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So babies love it. It's safe for
and
for
soothing.
Everyone. It's so soothing, and they love it. Absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And also with the skin thing too, and what I have noticed, because I was always somebody that bruised really easily. And now it's like, if I knock my knee or something like that, I will take the wand immediately and I will wand it, and I won't bruise. I don't even get, I know this is TMI, but I don't even get razor burn anymore. It's unbelievable what it does for your skin. And also, what was the other thing I was about to say? Squirrel. It'll come back to me. I'll come back to you.
That's right.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, beautiful.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, a couple of comments. How come we just don't take a bath in it every night?
You should. I actually do a foot soak.
I know.
I started 3 nights ago. I started like, I'm going to start doing my Epsom salt foot soaks with wanded water. And I've been doing foot soaks every night. I'm telling you, And when I would wand my feet, I like to also massage the bottoms of my feet while I'm wanding them. And used to be, it would be so painful when I would be getting some of those crunchies and stuff. And I noticed today, just after doing the wanded foot baths for only 20 minutes. And another thing is, you don't want the water to be more than your body temperature. A lot of people think that you want the water really, really hot, but actually it's better to have it because I watched actually a holistic podiatrist. I got on there and he was like, you need to have it like between 90 and 100 degrees. And so I would just wand a couple of pitchers of water, pour it into my basin and soak my feet. And then I noticed today when I was wanding, I started doing the massage thing. There was no pain, like for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So yes.
So what is the detox bath?
Well, that's another one for my friend Paula. She works with a frequency doctor that can work with her over the phone and actually heal her body with her own frequencies over the phone. And she had gone to her when my mom had told her about the wand to see if she knew anything about it. And she was like, yes, I've been using it in my practice. I use the Pro on my patients for the last year I have. And the testimonies had been astounding. And she was like, we did so much work today. I want you to take a wanded water detox bath when you get home. And she was like, well, what's that? And she actually told her to wand the water for like 7.5 minutes in the tub, and to put it as hot as possible. No Epsom salt, no soap, nothing like that, just the water. And to get into the water and for 20 minutes only, because all of your pores open up and that's when all of the toxins come out. And so you want to get out at that point, completely dry off and wipe off your body and throw that towel directly in the wash, because all of the detox, all of the toxins will be on that towel.
Don't use the towels again.
Don't use the towels again, which was something I didn't know.
They'll be loaded with toxins.
Yeah, but she said do it for 20 minutes because after the 20-minute mark, your pores are still open. Those toxins can start to go back in. So that's how we do it. But I now, I mean, from what he did with that experiment, I don't think you actually have to wand the whole tub of water unless you want to. I just make it even more zazzy. Who knows?
Okay, I have one more. You could just yes or no on this, but I have a broken ankle in both places right now. But you're saying I should not wand that, only spray it. Is that right?
Probably. I think the company position is don't wand over broken bones. I think it's
or open wounds.
Open wounds. I think it's because they're in transition to find their way to.
Well, I learned that the hard way with open wounds too, because I got a humdinger of a cut on my finger, and I started wanding it, and then it just opened, and it was not
right, because improved.
It actually caused more blood.
Yeah, the blood becomes not thinner but more optimized. And that's one of the things that incredible benefits, because it dissolves clots. Because what happens with the blood is they lose their charge, so they have like a negative charge on the inside, and on the outside is positive. So here you got all the cells with positive. What does that do? They repel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's how we keep the blood flowing freely. Is the two positive charges. Every cell is charged, happy, with charge, repelling. As the cells go down in charge, they begin to clump. They don't have the power to repel each other, and they begin to clump together.
Okay.
Right?
But I would do compresses. I would do the compresses, and I would spray water on it. Mm-hmm.
I did hear that earlier. So last question might help some others. I don't know, maybe not, but more related to others instead of just me. But so outside of me buying a bunch of wands and giving them to people to try and then get them interested, how can I best explain this to people? Because it sounds kind of strange. Here's a wand, how do you explain it?
That's something you have to work on. I mean, there's plenty of videos. You can send them a video. We have like 5-minute presentation, and then there's a 40-minute presentation. But the best thing is testimonies. Hey, look what it did for me. It's incredible. Give them a link to the Facebook testimonials. That's one of the best tools.
There's like almost 60,000 people in that group
right
now.
And so it's like there's all kinds of but at the same time, it's good for you to know and to learn to say, okay, this is the basic, this is what it does. It releases the terahertz frequency. This is just the first device in the world to use the terahertz frequency that vibrates at the same frequency of our cells. So it's optimizing our cells, it's charging our cells. It causes the body to fix any problems because the cells awaken, they charge, and they do their job. So it's good for you to know a little bit of what and it just takes a little bit of repeating and watching some videos and say, okay, and try to explain it in very short, in 1 minute, 2 minutes. This is what it is. And most people, that's all they need. If they see that as a new device, new technology, first in the world. There is no competition at this point. There is a lot of knockoffs on the internet, fake ones, which is really sad because people are buying this
basically blow dryers.
They're basically blow dryers and they don't have the terahertz. So it's sad that people are getting conned a lot because they also won. Terahertz won. It's all over the internet. But Prive was the only company with all the patents and the only company authorized to distribute this original wand. They did all the studies and the invention, so it's the only the ones from Prive, the iTeraCare, they're the original.
And something else that you said, I may not be able to send it to my friends, or if I've got, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday and she had the coolest little story that she told me about her wand, and it's on a quantum level. She had a friend with a crazy cat. And so the cat had started biting her and was just going bonkers. And so she took a picture of her cat and sent it to my friend. And my friend wanded the picture of the cat, and the cat stopped.
Oh my goodness.
So maybe if you have a friend that's got an issue, maybe have them take a picture of it, wand it. I mean, it's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
And even if you got some friends with some issue, hey, let me come over and let me use this one thing on you, see, and just
let them borrow one.
Do it as a service to other people. And
right.
For me, that is the best. Yeah, the best. Some of the best stories have been that. It's just people, reaching out and say, hey, let me come over to your house and wand you or whatever. Those are the best things because you're serving, you're giving yourself your time, and yeah.
Okay.
Marilyn, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, I was wondering if there's anybody that is buying the wand in Canada, and if it's able to get there without
sure. No, absolutely.
And we sold them all over the world.
Every distributor can sell all over the world. There used to be one stockist in Alberta. Now we have a new one in Ontario. Just opened up, so now you have 2 stockists in Canada, which is great. It's excellent. Yeah, so
they can get a product from there.
Yes. So you just contact any distributor in the world.
Yeah, and if it's a different nation that has a different plug, they have them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It has to be an authorized distributor for Prive. And they can order for any people in the world, in China and in India. And
it might cost more in shipping.
Yeah, some places, but like Europe and Canada, it doesn't matter where you are. It's just, the distributor can order for you.
Okay. I was just wondering because I have a nephew whose wife is very ill with cancer, and I would like to get them one, and I'm just kind of wondering if they could get it, if it would be held up at the border.
Absolutely. No, this are already in the country. Yeah, so you don't have to. It's the price for Canada is $385 US, so it's like 580 something Canadian dollars, and it's already all the shipping and the import taxes are included.
Okay.
So it's 581 with everything included to your house. Yeah,
And I would have her be doing the lime water protocol, the warm lime water. And the way that you do that is you soak it in 1 parts apple cider vinegar. I use like organic apple cider vinegar, 3 parts water to get any kind of film or anything off of the outside of the lime. Of course, you want to use organic limes if you have it. And then I have like a little citrus juicer. I did a video on this. It's on my Instagram and my Facebook that you can watch it. But so you extract all of the juice from it, then you pour the boiling water over it, and then when the lime rinds turn brown, that's when you drink it. But I would have
Well,
her do that.
that also, when you said about soaking in the bathtub, I was just thinking, she's been on so much chemo that might be a real bonus to be able to, I don't know. Any thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely try, and maybe just not a lot, because I don't know how she would, because chemo is such a poison. It's like you gotta go easy on these things, because it can send into more detox. So anything you do, start slow, slow and steady, and see how you react, and increase the time, or just gauge it yourself.
Just drinking the water would probably be ample.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, drinking the water is incredible.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to, had a couple of questions, but you've answered those, but I just wanted to say that I have gotten people interested by my testimony, and I had a pretty awesome thing happen. I had a tooth that had a root canal that got infected, had bone loss in it. My face swelled up like a balloon. I had infection in it. My lymph glands were swollen and sore, and I wasn't able to sleep because the pain was so bad. I'd gone to the dentist, and he sent me to an endodontist, and he was sending me to a surgeon. And in the meantime, I was wanding, but I was only doing it for a couple of minutes at a time. And then I thought, man, this hurts so bad. I'm just going to wand the sucker. And I just wanded it for over half an hour at a time.
Awesome.
And after 3 times, the pain left. Then after a couple of days, the swelling went down. My lymph nodes went down, and the infection totally left. And the tooth seated itself back, and it's firm again. And I am not going to have it extracted.
Wow.
So yeah, it was. I took pictures of it, so I put it on the testimonial page.
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah, another testimony that I had is when we first got married, I was having like life-threatening allergic reactions every day. I mean, he wanted to get a new model. He thought he'd got a corrupted model, but my feet would swell up to where I couldn't walk. And they would itch so bad, like they feel like they were going to explode. Half of my tongue would get this thick and the other half would be normal. It was just crazy stuff. I went to an allergist. He was like, this is just chronic. You're going to have to deal with it for the rest of your life. And so my mom got me on nutraceuticals, and within a month, I was completely free of allergic reactions. Well, we were just sitting around our table, just talking with people that were all of our friends that were around, that we were all using the wand. And I was telling them that story. And I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about this story in forever. And like I was talking about the trauma and the trauma release, well, all of a sudden that night I was in watching a movie with all my nieces, and my feet swelled up and did the same thing. They hadn't done that in ages. And just the itch, I mean, the itch was so deep. And I was like, I refused to take a Benadryl. So I got up and I went to my bathroom and I got out my wand and I just wanded it until it completely stopped. I did 10 minutes. On each foot, and all the swelling went down and all of the itch left. It was amazing. And I didn't have to take anything.
Yeah, that's important what you just said, because the product advisors for the company, they say if you have an issue
that you know about
it, you're working on, so don't stop short of 15 plus minutes, because he said it takes a time for the body to receive the terahertz and then begin to interact with it and to solve the problem. So a lot of people do a few minutes and it's not working. No, keep like you did. Keep it longer, like 20 minutes and up. And sometimes they say 40 minutes. So you gauge it. If you haven't had results with a part of your body that's still, maybe it's just you need to keep it there, buy a stand.
Yeah, there's great stands.
You can
blow
watch a
dryer
movie,
stands on Amazon.
watch a movie and just have the thing blowing on the, for half an hour, and don't move it around. Just focused on the issue. Yeah.
That's an awesome testimony. That's
I know.
awesome.
Fantastic.
Love that. Thank you. Love that.
There's a question. Can you ask if you can wand over rings or earrings? And then anything about a 4-month-old being wanded for club feet?
Yeah, it's okay to wand over jewelry. It's fine. I don't know about the club.
I mean, I don't ever have my jewelry on when I wand, just because I use the oil and stuff, and so I don't want to get in my rings and stuff. But I haven't seen anything that says you can't.
It's not an issue.
I think it's when the metal is inside your body.
The only issue is with implants. The company says if you were not born with it, don't wand over the area.
But you want to be careful wanding on metal because it'll heat up. You don't want to burn yourself. And the club foot?
What is that? Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure.
I don't think it should be a problem if there's no implants. Remember, this is not a medical device. It's just a household device. It's not designed to treat anything, any illness. So the only contraindications is with implants. Titanium.
Or if you have high blood pressure, you're not supposed to do on the top
of your head. Yeah, but anywhere else is fine. So club feet should be fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had another question, and that you're talking about implants. I have some dental bridges, and I suspect there's some metal in there. Does that mean that I shouldn't wand my jaws?
You can just gauge it. I think a lot of these policies are for lawsuit purposes.
I wouldn't do the mercury fillings. I don't know.
Cover their
like if there were mercury fillings, I wouldn't want to wand over that.
You don't focus there like for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But I think lightly wanding it's fine. You can gauge it if you've experienced discomfort, and then just pass over it. And then focus on
if you wanted to do your face, like you were talking about that wet towel,
mm-hmm.
and so that goes right straight through. So I was just concerned that if I wanted to do my face, how do I skip my jaw?
Right.
Well, you might wrap it in the wanded water. That would be awesome for it.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Just gauge it yourself. If you don't experience any discomfort, then it's fine. Just you test it out. If you're like, oh, this is it's hurting, then just okay, that's too much. So you can just do the lightly or the higher parts, just pointing upwards from below and up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a neighbor who has a child with autism, and they were crying pretty intensely because they had thrush on their tongue, and she wanded their tongue and immediately stopped crying, and the next morning it was totally gone.
Wow.
Love that. Yeah, I open my mouth.
Awesome.
I wand inside my mouth. I wand up my nose. I wand everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Zach.
Hello. So a couple of questions. One is we use a Berkey for our water. And we use a glass jar. My question is around that piece. Well, you can wand the jar. I know you said that already. But when you put it in the Berkey, I don't know if anybody else uses that, but it removes the carbon, the filters, the fluoride, and all that crap. So my question is, do you think, or do you have any experience or know somebody who's used that in combination with the Berkey filtration system?
Yeah, somebody just said to me yesterday that they have one of those. I'm not familiar with what it is, but
it's okay. It's not this is not filtering the water. So
it's just changing the molecular structure of it.
It's restructuring the water.
Right.
It's not a filter. So yes, with that, you want to start with the most filtered water you can find. So it's no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from a different perspective, does this only work on life forms, or like, this sounds silly, former auto tech here, but vehicles have water in them in their systems. So and some technology does as well. Do you think, or have you heard of anybody trying it on a non-life form?
I think you're going to be the first.
Yeah. No, I think
I mean,
absolutely.
why not? I would try it.
No, I've seen, like I said, I saw a video of Ricky Brandino. He was winding the table. Like he it was a wood table. He wouldn't do anything to a metal, but like anything organic, like wood. So he would test a table, and it would show no charge, and then it would wander over there on the other end of the table, and they would go. She would show the charge immediately. So that's that's.
So you could wand the water and then put it into the car. I'm sure. I mean, it's certainly not going to hurt it.
Right? No, it's not going to hurt. It doesn't seem to do anything to metal though. It's just more like organic stuff.
All right. One other thought that just crossed my mind. How does this, or do you have or know anybody who has experience like with this in comparison to the Healy and their like frequency situation?
Right.
Well, we have the Healys, but the Healy was so, hard for me to because it just took so much diagnosis and then hooking yourself up and all this stuff. And so I just never got into a routine with my Healy. I mean, he used his more. I actually need to find my Healy because I'd love to test my body and see what it's saying now. I mean, it's a great device. It's a great diagnostic device and a frequency device. But what I love about this is you just have to plug in and point and blow.
So we stopped using our Healy, and we used it for maybe a year or so, and then we just kind of stopped because it was such a pain to get the wires, and then the other one I wasn't feeling a lot of change. I mean, I know it helped people, and it's a wonderful device.
It did help me several times when I got sick. I remember it did help me.
Right, and that's what actually attracted me, because I found a video on YouTube of Steve Keller, which is he's our sponsor. He was the #1 seller of Healys in the world in 2019 or 20, one of those years. But anyway, he sold more Healys than anybody. So I found a video of him on YouTube talking about his Healy experience and how Healy had terminated his account because he talked about this wand in a video, and they said you shouldn't do that. It's like, but it's he didn't
totally different device.
Yeah, he didn't see it as a competition. It's like it's a different. So he was like explaining like that, and so it was like, oh my God, that caught my attention because we are into frequency. So it's like, oh, okay, tell me more. And so we've seen way more results. What he says is that Healy is like a very complex, it's like sprinkler system. Very delicate. You can pinpoint things, especially with the subconscious and the energy fields and the information fields. The one is like a pressure washer. It's like, just, it's like the master frequency of everything. It's not individualized. It's just the frequency that affects everything at once.
But the Healy's amazing.
Right.
Amazing
so
device.
It's a different, it's a different thing.
You just have to really learn how to use it.
Yeah.
I never had
I
the
know
patience for it.
there are some people that I know they found value in it. Most of the people we've sold it to, they're not using it because it's just too complicated. There's sync issues, there's Bluetooth issues, there's software issues, cloud issues. This was one of the beautiful things. You plug this thing in and blow. It's like, wow, wow, that's easy. I can do that. So if the ease of use is huge because we're spoiled people, so we want things easy. And if I have to walk like 8 feet to the other cabinet, I'm not gonna take those drops, those supplements. I want it right here, with my coffee. So things like that, I think it's huge because we use this thing every day, and we love it. It's easy, and there's no just easy peasy.
I don't actually use it every day. I take like a couple of days off a week, I would say.
Yeah.
But one week when I got so busy, and it was around, I think, Christmas. I'm a big Christmas decorator, and I was doing a lot of work, and I didn't do it for like 5 days, and oh my gosh, could I feel a difference when I did not do it for 5 days. I mean, my body was like, hey, get the wand, give me some energy, do something.
So I was actually going to ask, because I remember you making this comment, Kimberly. You said you had 3 different devices. So is that because you wanted to experience all 3, or is there like a lifespan per wand that you've completed?
No, we wanted to try all 3 so that we would be knowledgeable if people wanted to know the differences or wanted to know our opinions of them. But we regretted getting the gold before. We wished we would have just gone straight to the diamond.
Because you come in as with the classic to the silver level, So a lot of people just jump from the silver to the diamond, or from the classic to the pro, and they skip the middle one. We upgraded to the middle one, and we were there for like maybe 2 weeks, and then upgraded to the next one. So,
but we wanted to know how they worked. We wanted to be able to kind of see for ourselves so we could answer questions. And like I said, we love the classic. Classic is amazing. Of course, we had the first one. We had the first generation one, and we liked that. And and they changed it a little bit with the second one. And now they have a year warranty, and we have had people. I mean, just my friend yesterday said my wand stopped working.
Yeah, there is an issue with the 2.0. They're
fixing it. They're revamping it again.
They already have the new models testing in Malaysia at the main office. But if the one goes bad, it's the stockists are so good. You just contact the stockist, they shipped it to you, and they just get it the new one to you really fast. They're awesome. So they're supposed to wait, probably last, between 2 or 3 years, probably. I mean, they're cheaply made, if you will.
You're talking about the classic.
The classic, right?
The pro is a horse, man.
Yeah,
it's
the
a
pro,
horse.
it's a Cadillac. It's amazing.
And I love the pro because it has a cold setting.
Right.
Which is amazing now that it's getting hotter here. And like my dog, she comes in from her walk now. She comes straight over to me and she's like, "Will you do the cold wand on me, Mom?" Because she's panting and she's trying to cool herself off. And so it's now she loves it. She used to not like being wanded, but now she wants just the cold one.
Nice.
It's a great feature on that one.
Someone asked about the prostate.
The what?
Prostate.
Oh, prostate.
There've been a lot of testimonies about the prostate. Yes. You can put that in the search engine in the wand testimony group on Facebook and read them all. But yes.
How does one join the Facebook group?
Well, if you have, could you just?
Yeah, you can just go there and ask to join.
I can hold up. I will show you what it looks like and what it's called, so that you can, because usually if you have a friend that's in it, they invite you, but you can, I've also gone to invite friends and realized that they're not, I couldn't even find them. And I was like, what's the deal? It's because they had already joined it themselves.
Yeah, you can just, ask to join, push the button.
This is what it looks like. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's called the Terahertz Quantum Frequency One Testimonial Group.
Yeah.
There's 59.4 thousand people in it right now. So there's a lot of testimonies. It's awesome.
Okay, so it's not your group, it's the Terahertz group.
Yes.
Right. We have our own group too. It's a little bit, we're just building right now.
We just haven't really put content in it yet, but we've started it.
I'm putting a little bit of content here and there, but this is a nice master group to also be a member of. You can also be a member of our group.
And they're very, very vigilant over the group too, to make sure that people aren't saying stuff they're not supposed to or trying to sell stuff to people. It's just to come and review testimonies and things like that, which is a really great tool to have. Love it.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone have any other questions?
I think we're good to go.
Thank you so much. We
You're
really
so
appreciate it.
You're
You're so
welcome. Our
welcome.
pleasure.
It's a joy to do it.